The hardest decisions are never about yes or no. They're about what you're willing to risk and what you're afraid to lose. Today, you'll hear the story of Mark, an engineer who had just 1 hour to make a decision that could either save or destroy an entire company. And one simple tool helped him do it: the Descartes Square. The scene is Seattle. It's November. A corporate office is drowning in rain and pressure. Mark receives a notification on his screen: emergency meeting, Project Atlas, final decision required. The words feel heavy. Final. Atlas is the company's flagship system for autonomous trucks, their biggest bet for the future. But Mark's team has found a rare, dangerous bug in the ice detection sensors. It only happens under very specific conditions, but when it does, the consequences could be catastrophic. Marketing wants to launch the system tomorrow. The engineering tests, however, are screaming, "Not safe." The meeting room is tense. Greg, the vice president of sales, is pushing hard. "If we delay, we lose the market to our competitors. They're breathing down our necks." The analytics team chimes in, trying to quantify the danger. Based on historical weather data, the risk of this specific failure is only 0.5%. The room waits. All eyes on Mark. He can feel the physical weight of $1 million decision, of jobs, of reputations, all resting on his shoulders. Mark breaks the silence. "I need 1 hour." He walks out of the conference room and into a tiny all-glass meeting room the team calls the aquarium. He doesn't open a laptop. Instead, he pulls out an old worn notebook. He remembers a lesson from a philosophy professor years ago, a simple framework for complex choices. He draws a large cross on a fresh page, dividing it into 4 squares. At the very center, he writes the question that's tormenting him: delay Atlas for 2 weeks. This professor had taught him, ask for specific questions, one for each box. Let clarity kill the noise. He starts with Sector 1, the top left square. The question: what happens if it does happen? What are the pros of delaying? He writes quickly: safety, a fully fixed bug, a rested, confident team, and for him, personally, a clean conscience. Simple, clear benefits. Next, he moves to Sector 2, top right. What happens if it does not happen? What are the pros of launching now, without delay? The list is just as clear. A big performance bonus. Happy executives. The perception of speed and market dominance. Beating their competitors to the punch. It's the classic, brutal battle in every business. Safety versus profit. Then comes Sector 3, bottom left. This is where it gets interesting. The question is, what will not happen if it does happen? What are the costs and losses if they delay? He jots them down. No big bonus this quarter. No wow effect at the big industry expo on Monday. The possible loss of a promotion he was in line for. An angry Greg. These are painful, personal truths. Finally, he arrives at Sector 4, bottom right. This is the hardest question, the one that forces you to confront the deepest consequences. The double negative that Mark knows he can't ignore. What will not happen if it does not happen? In other words, what's the ultimate cost of launching now, if the worst-case scenario occurs? The answers come slowly, but they hit like a hammer. If they launch now, and that bug appears on the road, there will be no customer trust left. There will be no brand left to save. There will be no legal protection, because the internal reports prove they knew about the risk. And most importantly, there will be no way to bring back human lives. This isn't just risk. This is the risk of ruin. With the 4 squares filled, the noise in his head is gone. Mark closes the notebook and walks back into the meeting. Greg is already on his phone, promising someone great news is coming, but Mark walks straight to the whiteboard. He draws a large square with a cross inside. He speaks calmly, his voice steady. We're not choosing between a delay and a bonus. We're choosing between a short-term gain and the very real possibility of losing this entire company. The room falls silent. The weight of his words hangs in the air. The CEO, who had been quiet the whole time, finally leans forward and says, if the risk of ruin is anything above 0, we do not take it. The release is officially postponed. Safety wins. Later that night, Mark leaves the office and walks out into the rainy Seattle air. There was no bonus. There was no applause. But as he walked home, he had a clear mind, and the peace that comes with making a decision he knew he would never, ever regret. So here is the Descartes Square for your own life. When you face a tough choice, take a piece of paper and ask these 4 questions. 1. What happens if I do this? 2. What happens if I do not do this? 3. what will not happen if I do this? And 4, what will not happen if I do not do this? Use it. It cuts through fear. It exposes the hidden truths. It can make an impossible decision feel simple. If you want more psychological stories and tools just like this one, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you're comfortable, share a dilemma you're